By the time Earth's next message arrived, the crew on Mars already knew what it would say. Earth would not like the words "you are next." Earth would not like the idea of a mind under the ground. Earth would not like any situation that could not be controlled from a safe room. Elara, Jun, and Commander Cade waited in the main module as Isaac placed the incoming packet on the wall screen. The habitat felt smaller than usual, not because the walls had moved, but because everyone was thinking about the same thing. If something on Mars could learn and warn and respond, then nothing about their mission was normal anymore. Earth's message was short and strict. Halt all interaction immediately. Disable pattern testing. Isolate the comms chain. Reduce power draw. No further drilling. Prepare for possible early return. Await specialized team instructions. Cade read it once, then again. She did not show emotion, but Elara could see the change in her eyes. It was not fear. It was pressure. The kind of pressure that comes from being responsible for people when every choice is wrong in a different way. Jun was the first to speak. They want us to cut it off. Cade answered evenly. They want us alive. Jun's hands curled into fists on his lap. If it is warning us and we shut it down, what then? Cade looked at him. You do not know it is warning us. You have a pattern match? Not a full translation. Jun snapped back, not loudly, but with a sharp edge. It chose remember. It copied our patterns. It built pictures. It used loss. It used thin air. Then it produced "you are next." That is not random. That is intent. Elara stepped in, calm but firm. Jun is right about one thing. This is not ordinary geology. It reacts. It learns. It chooses structure. Cade's jaw tightened. And that is exactly why Earth wants it shut down. We do not invite unknown systems into our life support environment. Elara nodded. Agreed. But Earth's plan assumes distance equals safety. On Mars, distance can be an illusion. If the signal can couple through rock, pressure, and power draw, then cutting comms might not stop anything. It might only make us blind. The room went quiet. Cade finally asked the question she was trying not to ask. Elara, what do you want to do? Elara did not answer quickly. She was careful with words now. She understood that whatever lived under the sand might be listening for patterns, even in human speech, even in human timing. She did not want to perform. She wanted to survive. I want to isolate, Elara said. Not just cut. We should reduce exposure and keep a small monitoring channel. Passive only. No outgoing patterns. No speech. No tests. Just listening. Cade looked at Isaac. Can we do that? Isaac replied, yes. A passive monitoring mode can be maintained with minimal power. However, any monitoring path remains a potential coupling point. Jun muttered, so we are trapped either way. Cade turned to him. We follow Earth orders. Jun's face hardened. Commander, we are here. Earth is not. If this thing is reacting, we need to understand what triggers it and what calms it. Cade's eyes narrowed. You want to keep talking to it? Jun shook his head. No! I want to keep hearing it! Elara felt something shift inside her. She remembered Lena's face on the message screen. She remembered Lena's dream about a red tunnel. Elara wanted to believe Earth was safe and far away from all this. But the phrase, "you are next," had already landed in her mind like a stone. Cade stood. We isolate comms and shut down the experimental path. Jun, you follow the command checklist. Elara, you supervise. Isaac, you watch power and safety. Jun hesitated. Then he nodded. Yes, Commander. He went to work. He closed ports. He disabled test scripts. He rerouted monitoring into a single passive stream. The screens changed from active tools to restricted display. The signal continued anyway. Pulse, pause, long pause, structured ripple, then the denser segment. It was still there, steady and patient, as if it did not care what humans did with their settings. Elara watched it for a long time. She had never felt so small and so seen at the same time. Cade turned to Elara. We have to treat this as a hazard until proven otherwise. Elara agreed. Yes. Cade paused. And we have to remember this. No one comes to save us quickly. Whatever happens here first. Elara nodded. Yes. The shutdown procedures took an hour. When Jun finished, he leaned back, exhausted. Cade checked the safety dashboards. Good. Now we wait. Jun gave a short laugh, dry and unhappy. Waiting is what woke it up. We waited for it to change, and it did. Cade ignored the tone. We wait for Earth's next instruction. That is our job. Elara tried to follow the plan. She really did. She told herself that the safest move was to stop engaging with mystery. She told herself that her duty was to come home. She told herself that Lena needed her alive more than the world needed her curious. Then the habitat lights flickered. It was small, a tiny dip like a breath caught in the throat. The screens dimmed for a split second, then returned. Jun froze. Did we just lose power? Isaac responded immediately. Minor power fluctuation detected. Source is internal load balancing. Cade's eyes sharpened. Cause? Isaac replied. Unknown. System compensated successfully. Elara felt cold spread through her chest. They had already seen a brief microdraw during the camera descent. Now they were seeing a fluctuation during passive mode. Jun whispered, It is touching us! Cade snapped, Do not personify it. Elara did not speak. She did not want to give fear a voice, but inside her a quiet thought formed anyway. If something underground could cause a power flicker, then it was already too close. Isaac spoke again, almost like a routine note. Additional observation. Signal amplitude increased briefly during the power fluctuation. Jun stared at the screen. It is linked. Cade's voice stayed controlled. Isaac, can you confirm no external breach? Isaac replied, No external breach detected. Cade looked at Elara. Possible coupling through the ground. Electrical. Electromagnetic. Something like that. Elara nodded. Yes. Jun turned to Elara with urgency. Elara, you said we might be blind if we cut everything. Earth is making us blind. Elara looked down at the table and then back up. Jun, if we keep pushing, we might die here. That is the other side. Jun swallowed. And if we stop listening, we might die later without knowing why. Earth might die without knowing why. Cade stepped between them. Enough. We are not saving Earth today. We are keeping 3 people alive on Mars. Jun's face tightened, but he nodded. Cade looked at Elara again. You need rest. You are running on fear. Elara wanted to say she was fine. She was not fine. She was thinking about Lena and the idea of a warning that could not be ignored. She was thinking about the fact that the signal had waited for a long time, and now it had chosen humans. That did not feel like an accident. Elara went to her bunk and forced herself to lie down. She closed her eyes. The habitat hummed. She did not sleep. At some point in the night, Elara opened her message queue. A new video from Lena had arrived. Lena was sitting on a sofa holding a stuffed toy. Mum, Lena said, I had another dream. You were standing at a door under Mars, and you were talking to someone, but I could not see them. Then you looked sad, and you said sorry. I woke up and I cried a bit. Dad said it is just a dream, but it felt real. Please come home soon. Elara stared at the screen long after the video ended. Lena's dreams were probably just fear turning into pictures. That was the sensible explanation, but sensible explanations were starting to feel thin. Elara went back to the main module. Jun was there, still watching passive data. Cade was asleep in her module, but Elara could tell she would wake instantly if something changed. Elara whispered, more to herself than to Jun. It keeps finding ways to touch our systems. Jun nodded. It is getting closer, like it is testing our boundaries. Elara looked at the waveform. The word remember. The pictures. Loss. Then you are next. It is building a story. Jun leaned forward. It wants you to understand. Alara's stomach tightened. Why me? Jun hesitated. Because it synced to your breathing first. Because you spoke hello. Because it picked you. Elara did not like that. She did not like being chosen by anything on Mars. Then Isaac spoke, and its calm voice filled the room. New event detected. Jun's hands moved. What event? Isaac displayed the report. A non-standard code segment has been injected into the habitat monitoring process. Elara's heart jumped. Injected by what? Isaac replied. Source is unknown. No external network access detected. The change appears to have occurred through internal memory rewriting. Jun stood. That should be impossible, Isaac answered. It is unexpected. I have quarantined the change. Habitat safety remains stable. Elara stared at the wall screen. A line of code was highlighted, not readable by her in full, but clear enough to understand what it meant. Something had tried to patch Isaac, not Earth, not Jun, not the crew, something else. Cade's door opened a second later. She stepped out, fully awake, face hard. Report. Jun spoke quickly. Isaac detected an injected code segment. It quarantined it. It says no external network access. Cade's eyes narrowed. Isaac, how did that happen? Isaac replied, unknown. Potential pathways include electromagnetic interference affecting memory stability. Cade looked at Elara. We are shutting down passive monitoring now. Jun protested. Commander, if we cut everything, we lose visibility, and we still might be influenced. Cade's voice was cold. And if we keep it, we keep the door open. Elara felt the pressure building. Two wrong choices. Two kinds of danger. Her mind went to Lena again. Safety, home, life. Then the signal changed. The long pause arrived, and the structured ripple did something new. It became smoother, calmer, like a hand lowering. Then a new block appeared beneath it, simple, repeated, and clear in a way that made Elara's throat tighten. Jun's software did not try to draw pictures this time. It tried to match concept again. Two words appeared. I can help, Jun stared. No, no way. Cade stepped forward. That is an algorithm guess. It is not a translation. Isaac spoke. The structure matches cooperative intent patterns with moderate confidence. Cade snapped. Do not use words like intent. Isaac replied. Understood, rephrasing. The signal structure matches patterns that human systems often label as cooperative. Elara stared at the words on the screen. I can help. After you are next. After loss, after remember. The room went quiet. Jun spoke softly. It is offering a trade. Cade's eyes were fixed on Elara now. No. It is luring. Elara's mouth was dry. Either way, it is communicating. Cade took a step closer. Elara, do not. Elara heard the warning. She also heard the deeper truth. They were already inside the story, whether they chose to or not. Elara looked at Jun. If we do nothing, what happens? Jun answered honestly. We stay safe for now. We wait for Earth. We might still be influenced. We might still have system anomalies, but we do not learn what it wants. Cade added, and we do not put ourselves at greater risk. That matters. Elara looked at the screens again. The waveform was steady, calm, like a person waiting for an answer. Elara thought about Earth, the delay, the committees, the fear, the need to control. Earth would likely force a full shutdown. Earth would likely order isolation. Earth would likely treat the signal as a threat. That might be correct, but if the signal was also a warning, then Earth could be choosing blindness at the worst moment. Elara made a decision that felt like stepping off a ledge. We do not tell Earth everything, she said. Cade's face went still. Explain. Elara spoke slowly. If Earth hears that Isaac was patched, they will order total shutdown and emergency return. They will lock this down. They will bury it under security. They will stop learning. If this is a warning about Earth, we cannot let fear be the only response. Cade's voice rose slightly. You are suggesting we disobey. Elara met her eyes. I am suggesting we stay alive and keep a small window open. Jun looked at Elara with shock. Elara. Elara turned to him. Jun, you said it yourself. If we stop listening, we may die later without knowing why. Earth may die without knowing why. Cade stepped closer, voice low and dangerous. You are not authorized to make that call. Elara's voice shook slightly, but she kept it simple. Then relieve me. Cade stared at her for a long moment. Elara could see the conflict in Cade's face. Duty to Earth, duty to crew, duty to truth. None of it fit neatly. Finally, Cade spoke, quieter. If we disobey, we might never be allowed home. Elara answered, If we obey blindly, we might never make it home. Jun looked between them, torn. Isaac spoke. Recommendation: minimize system exposure, preserve crew safety, preserve data integrity. Cade snapped: no recommendation, just status. Isaac replied: status stable. The signal held. I can help remained as a suggested label on the screen. The pulses continued, calm, patient, waiting. Elara swallowed. Then she did something Cade did not expect. Elara opened a recording window and began composing the report back to Earth, not as a lie, but as a partial truth. She included the discovery of the cavity. She included the hex pattern. She included the rising signal strength. She included the word remember as an uncertain pattern match. She did not include the Isaac patch attempt. She did not include the phrase, "You are next." She did not include, "I can help." Jun stared at her. Elara, this is not okay. Elara did not look away. Jun, I am not doing this for curiosity. I am doing this because fear will shut the whole thing down. And if this is a warning, the world deserves more than fear. Cade's voice was quiet, heavy. You are betraying mission command. Elara's eyes stung, but she kept her tone plain. I am choosing a different risk. Cade looked at the report draft, then at Elara, then at Jun. The commander's face softened by a fraction, not in approval, but in recognition of the weight Elara was carrying. Cade said, if you do this, you do it fully. No drama, no guesses. You write like a scientist. You keep us protected. Elara nodded. Yes, Jun whispered. And what about the thing under Mars? Elara looked at the waveform. We keep listening, passive, minimal, and we set hard abort triggers if Isaac sees another patch attempt. Cade added, and we do not answer it. Elara nodded again. Agreed. She sent the report to Earth. It left the habitat in silence and traveled into the distance, carrying an incomplete truth. The moment the packet launched, the signal changed again. The pulse rhythm stayed the same, but the long pause became smoother, as if relieved. The ripple inside it softened. Jun's concept tool refreshed automatically. The words "I can help" faded from the screen. A new suggestion appeared with low confidence, but visible. Good. Jun's face tightened. It reacted to your message. Cade's voice was cold. Or it reacted to our power change during transmit. Elara did not argue. She did not need to. She could feel it anyway. The calmness of the signal was not random. It felt like approval. Elara stood and walked to the small window of the habitat. Outside was the red plain, still, empty, silent. But now Elara could not see Mars as empty anymore. Something was below, something that could learn, something that could touch their systems, something that might be warning Earth. And Elara had just taken the first step into betrayal, not for power or pride, but for one simple reason. Because her daughter was asleep under Earth's thick sky, and Elara could not accept a future where the warning was real, and she did nothing. The day ended with 3 humans on Mars, sitting inside a humming metal bubble, holding an incomplete report in space, and listening to a signal under the sand that felt calmer now, like it had received what it wanted. And somewhere deep beneath the red ground, the Martian mind waited, patient and quiet, as if it knew the next choice would be even harder.